You just can't know. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 294 of the Shower Podcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and welcome back to a new episode within me in the shower. It's always nice to start the week in this manner. I wanted to do it yesterday, but unfortunately, it was more the vibe of a Shower Diaries episode. Hope you enjoyed that. And today I will present to you a bit of a complicated topic, but it's something that it's, again, very dear to me as usual. And I really hope that I'll be able to inspire you and change, even for a tiny bit, your perception on life. Before we start, as usual, if you end up liking this episode, remember that liking and subscribing really mean a lot for me. They're just one click, but they really, really make the difference. Thank you very much for considering it. So, what are we talking about today? The message that I would like you to keep thinking about while I present to you my idea is that life is made of percentages. And the moment that you realize that, and the moment you understand that everything around us is not a certainty, you will start seeing life in a different manner. Let me explain. So, this is not something that I invented. If you followed the weekend drops and many of the recent episodes, lots of the ideas presented by Daniel Kahneman, let's say, inspired me quite a bit. Specifically, this idea that I'm presenting to you, it's from one of his most famous books, Think Fast, Think Slow. And besides topics that we talked about already, like the brain 1, brain 2, the different ways that we take decisions in our lives, there is also this underlying concept that it's basically something common. And it's the fact that us as humans are horrible and absolutely incapable of taking decisions looking at statistics, at percentages. We prefer to use our emotions, we prefer to use our own bias, and overall, it's something that we don't really decide, but again, it's kind of ingrained in the way that we think. And it takes a lot of effort to change your mindset from this point of view. Whereas even if you know, so even after today's episode, or if you already knew, you might agree with me, that even once you know that life is made out of percentages, you still try to test your luck. How many times have you been in a situation where you knew that the odds were clearly against you and still you went for it? And the interesting bit is that a lot of times, even if the odds were against you, you still managed to do it. Therefore, you build kind of a resistance to these kind of moments, and the next time something like that happens, you will believe, I can make it. I already made it once. And that is even worse, because as percentages and as how statistics teach us, the fact that it already happened once, the fact that you were lucky, it kind of reduces, if we're talking about the same kind of activity. I don't want to get too nerdy and I don't want to upset all my math enthusiast friends, which I am also part of that club. That's what I studied. And even though I didn't like so much the theory, it's not a subject that I was excellent at, I am fascinated by statistics because, again, they govern everything that it's in our lives. So, coming down to the core of today's episode, what I would like to tell you and what I would like you to think about is that the moment in which you try to pursue something, the moment that you start a habit, the moment that you try to improve your life in any way, shape, or form, you have to remember these two things. First, there is no guarantee. You can do everything perfectly. You can do everything by the book. You can be the most perfect that you'll ever be. And there is a chance that you will not hit your target. There is a chance that you will not make it. So, does this mean that everything is worthless? Because at the end, if I'm not sure about something, how can I even expect to do that and expect these results coming? And here comes the second bit. Everything that you're doing is to make sure that you can get as close as possible to that 100%. And here there is a mix, between theory and practice, real life and the textbooks. In theory, there is a chance and a percentage that tomorrow the sun will explode. It's not completely zero, but it's very, very, very close to it. On the other hand, a lot of the things that you might do for yourself, so if you study and go for a high degree in your life, if you follow perfectly your diet and you exercise, again, if you start saving, or again, all the good practices that we try to follow and look on the internet to improve our lives, if you do follow those things and you do it properly, you will get closer to the 100% success rate. But even in that case, it will never be 100%. So what does this all mean, and what should you do with this information? You should, first of all, understand that when things don't go your way, you shouldn't throw away all the work that you did. Simply, in that specific moment, you were unlucky, it happens, but the next time that you will do that thing, the moment in which you will start again, be sure that it's very, very, very likely that things will go your way. So all your work is not wasted. And at the same time, this connects to the emotional part that we have. Don't put yourself down because things didn't go your way. Don't expect that at the same time everything will always work well, because simply it cannot. There is no 100% in life, as there is no 0%. So when you try to make a decision, when you try to look for the next big thing in your life, remember, life is a percentage. It works that way. And the only thing that you really need to start doing is to make sure that the odds are in your favor. The rest is out of your control, and you should always focus on the things that you can control. So make sure to go up to 100% and just make the things that you need and want happen. Having said that, that was all for today. Thank you very much for listening. I know it's a complicated topic, and I know that it's easy and not at the same time to comprehend. You will need to reflect upon yourself and understand what matters. But I really believe that it's something that should always be in the back of your mind, because it's the only way to actually take life for what it is, and at the end of the day, make the best decisions in the course of your whole life. If you made it so far, again, thank you very much for listening. Feel free to share this content, to interact with it in any way, shape, or form. Comment, subscribe, like, whatever it is. It's always welcome. And until the next one, as usual, stay consistent, stay resilient. This was the Shower Podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow.